Chelsea were beaten was against, well, you can see there, the drop points against Arsenal. But go before that, the last time they were beaten was Newcastle, October the 30th in the League Cup.
Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, that seemed like a long time ago now, but are you surprised with how quickly those players and this manager have got to grips with the job at Stamford Bridge?
Yeah, very. Obviously, he did a great job at Leicester when he was there last year, but I am impressed with how quickly they managed to take on that information and put it out there. And if you're saying, just look at the squad, the subs that they made today, they've got so many players that can come on and change games and affect games, and the age of the squad as well, they're set up for years to come, so there should be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago, many people were questioning their recruitment policy, and, you know, are they looking for success down the road or not? But they've got a manager in who seems very structured in the way he coaches his players.
Yeah, and he was very ruthless about the fact that he was gonna ostracize certain players. Obviously, he's got the conference to play them in, and he was very much, I'm going to concentrate on these players. Now they're doing well in the conference, and it seems to keep them happy. Like I was just saying to the gaffer, it depends what happens in that tournament once they go out of it, and then you've got all those players. Who's going to be happy? Because players, when you're playing that well and it's starting to happen, you want to play. Yeah. You want to be involved in that, and so you have to see how that's going to affect the squad as they go down the table.
With your manager's hat on, what's impressed you the most about the way Maresca's
he's got a hell of a lot of talent there, but he's managed to actually say, like, whatever the player is, this is what we're going to do. Like at half time, he changed there. He said, that ain't working. We're all over the place defensively. We've given too many opportunities away. Let's change it. Casado, I always felt before, Son versus Casado, defensively, he wants to put him in midfield. That was a mistake for me. And then he's looked at that and he thought, that ain't working. Let's change it. Yeah. They go into a 3 at the back or with the ball. They slide into a 4 when they're defending. And then Cucurella went into that midfield area, which he's done many times. So he's looked at that and he thought, yeah. And you can do that with great players. Because at the end of the day, if it's not working, you can take one off, somebody else goes on, and you don't lose that sort of 8 or 9 out of 10 performance. That is where Chelsea are at the moment. That's why they're in the title. They really are in the title race.
They are?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. Of course they are. You know, with so many teams giving so many goals away, Arsenal are probably the best side at the moment that have got the balance right between defending and attacking. Even Liverpool might actually at some stage, you know, falter. So it's there for anyone to win it.
But didn't we see in the first half maybe why then might not be in the title race?
Yeah, but I just think, again, that would just come down to, I was just saying just in the break about an experienced defender, like when they got Thiago Silva. If they've got that kind of experience in that back four, then you're starting to look at a proper contender for going for the Premier League, simply because you look at the way they started that game. If they had an experienced defender, I can imagine someone like Tony Adams being that. And if people are passing the ball at that kind of level, he would lose it with them, and that's all they need now. That player in the dressing room.
I think you said it earlier. I feel long term to go really and be one of the favourites at the start of the season. I think they need the keeper sorted out.
Absolutely.
You know, I think Sanchez is okay at certain games, but consistency to go right across the season, I think they need to improve there. But they're very close. We're talking about a team that are so close to getting a Premier League again, you know, where 2 years ago you'd have laughed at that. Yeah. You know, Chelsea were all over the place and they couldn't pick a result up. But, you know, he's done a marvellous job.
He's got to get a lot.
Are they in the mix for you, Dan?
Yeah, I think so. If you look at where they are in the league as well, I think they can still get better as well. As I said, I don't think today was probably a complete performance from them. Defensively, they've probably got things that they can work on. But they've got so many options that look so good going forward. Like every time they go forward, they look like they can score. So I feel like for me personally, I always like to see a settled back four, more just because you build relationships with players. You sort of know what people are going to do, but I do understand that they've had players who've been out a long time. Like for Fon, I was out for a long time. So they do need to pass those minutes around. But I feel as if like Arsenal last year when they had Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White, that's like they had the best defence in the league, but they played every single minute and built that relationship. So that's what I think maybe they could improve on.
Actually, on that theme, the fact that he's got almost 2 11s, one in Europe and one in the Premier League, does he know his best starting 11, his strongest 11?
Listen, nowadays everyone gets carried away with the best 11. If you've got a really strong squad like that, certain clubs you'll go, I know my best 11. I don't think he knows what his best 11 is. What he has got, he's got people that are playing in the Conference League in Europe, so they're match sharp. And the FA Cup comes round, they're going to be playing in that. If they go a long way in that, they're match sharp. If someone gets injured long term, then they've got somebody to come in who's ready and match. If they go out of them tournaments, then he's got a problem to manage the squad.
Yeah.
You know, players want to play, as Dan said.
If you compare that squad, say, to Arsenal's, who they're in the mix with to try and catch Liverpool, we've seen the importance Odegaard is, Gabriel is, even William Saliba. If there is only, with looking at the squad at Chelsea, there's only one player really they could really desperately not do without, and that's Cole Palmer. Is everybody else interchangeable?
I think so, yeah. I think you've only got to look at the squad to see players can come in and out. As I said, the subs that they made today were sort of like for like and very, very good players. You look, Madueke coming on's had a very good season, starts on the bench, comes on, can make a difference. So, yeah.
I think Caicedo's getting himself into a situation in the midfield where he's somebody that would be very difficult to replace as